Please like this video. It will really help this story reach as many people as possible. Thank you so much for your support. She stood by the fridge door, one hand on the handle like she was blocking a vault. We're not doing this, Jenna said. Not again. What's this? I asked, leaning against the counter. Talking like two adults? She flicked her eyes at my watch. When you start investing in us, we'll talk. Until then, spare me the speech. Investing, I echoed. You mean gifts. If that's how you want to frame it. She closed the fridge without taking anything and walked past me if I'd known where that sentence was headed. I would have set a timer on the whole marriage right there. I texted Emily that night. Emily is her younger sister, elementary school counselor, big on people skills, small on drama. We'd always gotten along. I asked if she had time for coffee. She said yes, so fast I saw the dots before I hit send that we met at a quiet place near the school. She arrived in a gray sweater and the kind of calm face you get from teaching kids to tie shoes. Okay, she said, sliding into the booth. What did Jenna do? She changed, I answered. Or she's changing. Cold, short answers, moving goalposts. I tried to open it up. She wants investment. Emily frowned. Define. She wants things. Presents. Trips. Proof. She calls it effort. That's not effort, that's retail. Emily tapped her mug. Do you love her? I married her. That's not what I asked. Yeah, I said. I love her. Then try the simple route first. Take a weekend, cook, plan something thoughtful. Not just money, attention. See if it unlocks anything. You think it will? I think you should know that you tried, she said quietly. I think you won't forgive yourself if you don't. I nodded. All right, I'll swing hard. Mark, she added, voice low, don't forget yourself in it. I won't. I went home with a plan. Friday, I booked a table at the steak place downtown. Saturday, I set up a picnic by the lake. Real picnic, no plastic tubs. Sunday, I would cook her favorite salmon with lemon and herbs. I'm not great, but I can follow directions. When I told Jenna about the dinner reservation, she stared at me like I handed her a coupon. At least it's something, she said. At least? Well, if you're serious, you'll actually follow through. One night is an effort. I planned the whole weekend, I replied. Then we'll see, she said, and walked off texting. Dinner Friday. She arrived 20 minutes late with her hair perfect and her attitude colder than the ice in her water. The server asked if we were celebrating anything. My husband is trying, she said, and shot me a smile that didn't touch her eyes. On the way out, she pointed at a storefront jewelry case. That bracelet is cute, she mentioned, pretending to keep walking. Noted, I said. I didn't ask you to buy it. You're sensitive. I'm practical. Saturday at the lake. She scrolled on her phone, laughed at something, never explained what. I poured wine and asked about her week. She said, busy. And let that be the end of it. Sunday morning I was already tired, but I cooked anyway. She took a bite, set the fork down, and said, it's a little dry. It's baked fish, not a smoothie, I said. She didn't laugh. I didn't either. That night, Emily texted, how did it go? I typed, we did the rounds. Then deleted it and wrote, not much change, you did good. She sent back, keep your head. If you try one more week, try actual time. No screens. Just you two. If she rejects that, it's not about effort. I took that as instruction. For the next week, I shut down early, put my phone away at 8, made tea, sat on the couch. Jenna stayed in the bedroom with streaming shows. On Thursday, she came out, saw me reading, and raised an eyebrow. What's this? Time, I said. That's performative. It's available, I replied, closing the book. She looked at me like I was selling timeshares. If you were serious, you'd realize I need space. Not. This. Good point, I said, standing. I can give you space. She blinked. You're being sarcastic. I'm being literal. She went back to the bedroom. I grabbed a pillow and blanket and set up on the couch that night. In the morning, she passed me a to-go cup without looking. There, she said. Coffee. I took it. Thank you. She nodded like she'd donated to a cause. By Saturday, I stopped guessing. I texted Emily. I'm moving to practical steps. What steps? She asked that I'm separating budget and schedule. Too many mixed signals. I'll be respectful and clear to be kind about it, she wrote. But yes, clarity helps. I opened a new account, moved my personal spending there, kept the joint bills funded, and told Jenna over breakfast. I'm simplifying, I said. Her spoon paused. Meaning? Joint account covers house and utilities. Personal stuff is personal. If you want something big, we discuss it like adults. So gifts are now committee items? Gifts are gifts. Demands are not. You're controlling, she snapped. I'm organized, I said, stirring my eggs. There's a difference. She pushed her plate away. I cannot stand penny pinching. Me neither, I said. Good thing this isn't that. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't explain. I just set the rule and left it sitting like a traffic cone that we had a neighborhood barbecue that afternoon. Pete from next door reworked his patio. Half the block showed up to admire it. Jenna came in a sundress like a headline. She drifted from group to group, tossing little quips that sounded harmless until you heard the edges. Mark loves a spreadsheet, she told Dana from HR. He needs a budget to breathe. I took a sip of lemonade. I also love respect. Relax, Jenna said, laughing. We're teasing. Speak for yourself, I replied. I'm not in the mood to be the prop. Dana raised her palms. I'm not involved, right? I said. You just got used like a set piece. That's on me too. We're leaving. Jenna blinked. Excuse me. I put my cup down on Pete's railing. Thanks for the invite, Pete, I told him. Food's great. Pete's eyes dropped to the floor. Anytime, man. Jenna hissed on the way to the car. You embarrassed me. You did the setup, I said, opening her door. I did the cleanup. She folded her arms and stared out the window. We drove home in silence. That night, she slept in the bed. I took the couch again. Sunday morning she moved softer. She made pancakes, the nice kind with berries, and set a plate in front of me. Peace offering, she said. I looked at the pancakes, then at her. Thank you. I was a little sharp yesterday, she said. A little. I appreciate the dinner you planned last week, she went on. I didn't show it. I'm tired. Then stop sprinting at me, I replied. I'm not the finish line. She half smiled, like maybe we'd turned a corner. For the rest of the day, she was polite. Not warm, polite. She asked if I wanted to watch something together. I said sure. We sat on the same couch with 6 inches of peace between us. Monday, it was back to cold fronts. She sent me a link to a weekend spa and wrote, "This would be nice." I answered, "If we go?" "We go together." Her reply, "You're not exactly spa material." I put my phone face down and went back to work. Tuesday night, I met Emily at a diner by the highway. She had a notebook out because of course she did. Okay, she said. Tell me everything. I told her. The barbecue, the pancakes, the spa link, the separate budgets. Emily listened like a professional, because she is. You checked all the boxes, she said. You tried. I can try more, I said. To what end? She asked. If someone wants you there, you feel it. It's not a guessing game. I looked at the tiny lines in her notebook margin where she'd been doodling squares. I don't want to quit too soon. You're not quitting, she said. You're setting respect as the baseline. She's the one moving the bar. I sat back. And what do I do with that? You stop begging for the bar to lower, she said. You live your life like a grown man. Friends, work, hobbies. If she wants in, she'll step into it. If not, you'll still be okay. I laughed once. You're very calm. I'm not calm, she said, shaking her head. I'm just tired of watching good people exhaust themselves. I paid the check before she could reach for it. On the way out, she touched my sleeve, light and quick. You're not the bad guy in this story, Mark. I know, I said. I'm just the guy who decides when the story ends. That week I shifted a gear. I moved my gym time to evenings, played poker with Mike and the guys on Thursday, and accepted a Saturday morning invite to his garage to work on an old motorcycle. I wasn't avoiding home. I was filling my life with things that didn't grade me. Jenna noticed. New schedule? She asked Friday night, standing in the hallway with a towel on her head. Trying a different routine, I said, pulling sneakers on. You used to try with me. I did, I said. You told me to invest. This is an investment. In yourself, she said. Exactly. I don't like it. You asked for space, remember? I tied the laces. This is space. She watched me go like I had stolen something from her, and she couldn't name what. Saturday at Mike's garage was exactly what I needed. Noise. Grease. Clear problems with clear solutions. Mike is built like a fridge, talks like a referee. Trouble at home? He asked, handing me a socket. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still listening, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps YouTube show this story to more people. Thank you so much for the support. Now let's get back to the story. Nothing I can't handle. Good, he said. Those bearings need attention. Start there? He didn't push. He didn't advise. I appreciated that. I lost 4 hours to the simple joy of a bolt that loosens when it should. When I got back, Jenna was at the kitchen island with a glossy magazine open to travel pages. We need a trip, she announced. Do we? I asked, taking a glass from the cabinet. Yes, she said. Somewhere nice. I've been underappreciated for months. I deserve a reset. You can take one, I replied. I've got projects lined up. Her head snapped up. Are you serious? Dead serious. Am I supposed to go alone? If you want. Or with a friend. Or we plan one together that isn't a reward system. You're making this hard. I'm making it clear. She closed the magazine too hard for the paper to like it. You're punishing me. I'm protecting me, I said. There's a difference. That night she tried a different tactic. She set the table, lit candles. When I came in from the garage, she stood there with that same polite smile as pancake morning, only warmer. I made dinner, she said. It looks good, I answered. Can we just talk? No snark. Just us. I sat. She served. She asked about work. She laughed at a dumb story. She reached for my hand on the table and left it there. I miss us, she said. Which part? I asked. The part where we were partners or the part where I was a vending machine? That's not fair, she said, pulling her hand back. It's accurate. Her eyes hardened. If you're going to be like this, then why are we even trying? And that was it. The line I needed. We're not, I said. I was. Alone. She started to respond. I raised a palm and stood. I'm not doing this anymore, I continued. I'm done earning basic kindness. I gave it. I asked for a conversation. You gave me a price list. Where are you going? She shot back. To sleep at Mike's tonight, I said. Early morning at the garage. Monday I'll call an attorney. You're bluffing. I don't bluff, I said, grabbing a bag. It's wasteful. I texted Emily from the driveway, calling it. I'm done. She wrote back immediately. Are you safe? I smiled despite everything. Always. And thank you. She typed, then stopped. Then typed again. I'm proud of you for choosing yourself. Monday, I made the call. I didn't make a speech about it. I didn't stage anything. I just did the practical work. Paperwork, signatures, the slow machinery of ending a contract you can't fix with a picnic, a tea home. I adjusted logistics like a project manager. I told Jenna we'd split the calendar, shared items only, no fake invites to keep score. I moved my clothes to the guest room without drama. In the kitchen, I put a small whiteboard by the fridge for bills and errands. Anything not on it didn't exist. She watched silently as I wrote due dates. You're making this very unromantic, she said. Romance without respect is theater, I said. I'm cutting the show. She laughed once, sharp. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said. But not today. The next week, she escalated. If I came in at 9, she came in at 9:30. If I made coffee, she made a face. She started posting photos of her self-care weekends, with captions about deserving more. She'd never been big on the internet, but suddenly she was a motivational speaker. I didn't engage. I stayed busy. Saturday morning, Emily and I met for a walk at the park. I told her about the whiteboard, the guest room, the phone call. You sound like you finally took your own side, she said. I did. And how do you feel? Clean, I said, like I took a shower after a long flight. She laughed, real, warm. That's an image. We walked past a group of kids chasing a soccer ball. Emily pointed at one cutting in from the side. I wish my students knew how to do that. See the opening, take it. Adults forget it too, I said. She glanced at me. Some don't. I looked away, watched a dog wrestle a stick twice its size. Emily, I said, I appreciate you. I know, she said softly. We didn't name anything. We didn't have to. I wasn't there yet. I was walking out of a burning house, and she was waiting with water, but I wasn't going to drink it just to fill silence. 2 weeks later, Jenna tried the big swing. She showed up at my office building at noon with a bag from a soup place and a smile meant for photographs. I brought lunch, she said in the lobby. You don't even know what I like. I answered without heat. She lifted the bag. I guessed. I looked at the security guard, who looked at me like he wished he didn't exist. Let's talk outside, I said. On the bench, she opened the bag like a magician. See? Effort. I'm not the enemy. You're not, I said. You're just not a partner. I could be, she said. eyes shining with a kind of urgency I recognized from shopping days. I can change. You changed already, I said. I'm just late catching up. You'll throw this away after some rough weeks? She demanded. It's been months, I replied. And no, I'm not throwing anything. I'm setting it down. She took a breath like she was about to sprint. Give me 30 days. No big moves. Let's reset. I shook my head. I already made the move. She stared, then smiled in a way that didn't fit her mouth. You know what? If you need attention from your little fan club, go enjoy it. Who's my club? She smirked. Your friends. Your sister-in-law. I didn't bite. Take care, Jenna. Back at my desk, I finished a report and booked the last appointment I needed. The process wouldn't be instant. It never is. But it was moving. That's all I wanted. Meanwhile, Emily and I saw each other more. Sometimes coffee before work, sometimes a walk, sometimes sitting in her tiny living room while she graded worksheets. We talked about movies, her relentless third graders, Mike's motorcycle project. One night she leaned back and said, I need you to know something. I looked over. Okay, I'm on your side, she said. Not because you're perfect, because you're honest. That's rare. Thank you, I said. I haven't felt worth defending lately. Her face did that soft thing I was trying not to memorize. You are. We didn't cross any lines. We didn't need to. It was all there in the calm. If someone had walked in, they would have seen two adults who liked each other for the right reasons. That might be the cleanest thing I've had in years. The day the envelope came, it felt like a door unlocking. I picked it up from the attorney's office after lunch. Plain manila. Final enough. I drove home thinking about small things. Light bulbs, trash day, whether we needed new towels. Calm thoughts. I parked, grabbed the envelope, and walked in. Jenna was at the dining table with, of course, Emily. They had mugs and a plate of lemon cookies between them. Jenna laughed at something Emily said. It looked almost normal, then she saw me. Her face changed like someone cut the power. Emily stood, smiling. Hey, she said, stepping in to hug me. It was automatic. Sisters-in-law have hugged for years. But now it meant something else, and we both knew it. Her arms went around me for half a second, firm, steady, human. Jenna's voice dropped the room 10 degrees. Why are you hugging my husband? Emily didn't flinch. It's called being polite. You should try it. She glanced at Jenna's empty greeting, then back at me. How was your day? Productive, I said. I set my bag on the console, took the envelope out, walked to the table, and put it in front of Jenna. Then I turned and went to the kitchen to make coffee. Emily followed with her mug, quiet. Behind us, paper rustled. Then Jenna's voice hit the ceiling. You filed? You filed? I stirred a spoon and looked over my shoulder. You thought I'd do skits about it forever? You filed to end our marriage. Her face had panic in it for the first time in months. Real, not staged. You ended the marriage, I said, pouring coffee. I'm just updating the paperwork. Emily couldn't hide it. Joy spread over her face like sunrise through blinds. She covered her mouth, then let her hand fall and left the smile where it was. Jenna pointed at her. Why are you happy? Emily's answer was clear. Because he's finally free from you. And he's mine now. She didn't say it cruelly. She said it like a fact that had waited in line long enough. Jenna seized that, grateful to find a flag to wave. You two have been sneaking around. You're both a disgrace. You can tell whatever story you want, I said, leaning against the counter. Everyone who knows us watched you treat me like an appliance. No one will be shocked that I chose peace over performance. You're disgusting, she shouted. You. And you. She jabbed a finger at Emily. I'll tell Mom. I'll tell everyone. Do. I replied. Tell them everything. Start with the part where you sold kindness by the ounce. She stood so fast her chair scraped. I'm packing. Good, I said. Need a box? She glared and stomped to the bedroom. The door clicked. Emily walked over, put her mug down, and spoke under her breath. You were perfect, she whispered. Clean. Firm. She'll spin it. She can spin in place, Emily said. No one's dizzy anymore. We heard drawers opening and closing, hangers ripping. Emily and I stood there like you. Stand when a storm passes and you decide to keep grilling. Anyway, Jenna came out with 2 suitcases and 3 different expressions fighting on her face. You'll regret this, she declared, rolling the bags toward the door. I doubt it, I said. You think you're some prize? You're average. You're boring. You're predictable. I'm consistent, I said. It's how grown-ups win. She looked at Emily like she wanted her to blink first. Emily didn't. Jenna grabbed the handle, yanked the door open, and shouted, "You'll hear about this," at the hallway. "I'm sure," I said, and threw her a line I knew she'd remember. "Close the door on your way out. We're finally saving energy." She slammed it like she was trying to break the building. Silence rolled in, thick and good. Emily exhaled and then did what neither of us had allowed yet. She stepped forward and hugged me like we had both earned it. I held her back. It felt like the truth turning on all the lights that we stood there for a count of 5. Then she took my face in her hands and looked at me like a decision. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "I'm better than okay." She smiled in a way that lived in her eyes, not just on her mouth. "Then let's start right." We did. No rushing, no pretending. We kept it measured. We went to dinner at a little Italian place that doesn't take reservations. We talked like people who don't need to be impressive. I told her I needed time to breathe between the end of one thing and the start of another. She said, "I've got time." The next week we walked. We watched a silly show. We cooked at her place and messed up the sauce. Meanwhile, Jenna made good on her promise. She called my aunt and told her I was leaving her for Emily. My aunt asked one question. Was he treated well? Jenna hung up. She posted a long paragraph online about betrayal. Mike texted me a screen grab with one line. Do I comment a wrench emoji or nah? I told him to do nothing. He wrote back, "Proud of you, brother," and left it at that. Jenna convinced a mutual friend to call me and lecture me about family. I listened. When he finished, I said, "Thanks for the concern," and hung up. Word travels fast in circles that love drama and slowly in circles that value reality. The right people called. The wrong people stopped. The settlement was not kind to my savings. She got half in my old sedan. I kept the house, the tools, the habits that keep me sane. I didn't fight over decor or rugs or the guest towels she took that we never used. Money is replaceable. Time is not. Emily and I went on our first official date 2 months later. I picked her up in a clean truck, nothing fancy, just mine. She wore a blue dress that made her laugh when she called it teacher good. We sat on a patio under a string of lights and ate food that tasted the way people think happiness should taste, but never does. Ours did because the air was honest. On the third date, after a long walk by the river, I told her, "I want you with me." She smiled like she already lived in that sentence. "Then let's do it right." We drew lines. We kept families informed without asking permission. Emily told her mother with respect and no apologies. It wasn't easy in her house, but she handled it with the same steady grace she uses in a classroom. Eventually, their mother came around. People who know character can recognize it even when it shows up in the wrong story. 6 months later, my life looked suspiciously like the brochure husbands get when they don't settle. The house was mine and clean. The garage had a proper workbench. The motorcycle from Mike's shop lived there now, polished and loud on Saturdays. I woke up early to run in a neighborhood that didn't owe me its patience. Coffee tasted like mornings should. I had friends over for games without asking anyone's permission. My job was the same, but I was better at it because my head wasn't busy defending itself. Emily was there, often and then always. She moved in when the paperwork had been done long enough to collect dust. She brought a plant that refused to die and books with sticky notes. She didn't ask for a bracelet. She asked what I wanted to do with Sunday. Some Sundays we did nothing. Those were the best. Every once in a while, news about Jenna filtered in through someone who can't help sharing. She moved to another city. New apartment, new gym, new slogans. Maybe she started over. That's fine. I wish her clarity. She taught me a lesson I won't forget. If you have to buy your way into basic kindness, you're not in a relationship. You're in a checkout line. The last time her name came up, Emily and I were at a backyard cookout at Pete's. He'd upgraded the patio again. Dana from HR came over with a plate and said, "Hey, how are things?" With a tone that said she remembered the day she got used as a prop. "Things are good," I answered, squeezing Emily's hand. Dana smiled. "You look lighter." "I am," I said. Pete handed me a burger with a grin. "Still love a spreadsheet." He teased. "Only for bills," I said. "The rest I keep simple." On the drive home, Emily curled a foot under her in the seat and looked at me sideways. "You know what I love about you? Besides my world-class socket set?" I asked. "Besides that," she said, smiling. "You're consistent. You don't raise your voice. You set a rule and live by it. You don't perform. I wasted a lot of time performing, I admitted. She shook her head. You learned. That's different. We pulled into the driveway of the house I kept. Lights on in the kitchen, tools hung in the garage, a pair of chairs on the porch bought because we actually sit on them. As we walked in, I saw the old whiteboard still on the fridge, now with dumb drawings and notes like, don't forget, milk, and movie Friday. It stayed as a joke. Between us, proof that the tools I used to exit became the tools we used to live. I put the keys in the bowl. Emily leaned against the counter. One more thing, she said. Yeah? If you ever feel taken for granted, call it. Don't wait, don't guess. Just say it. I will. And I'll answer, she said. Not with a receipt. With respect. I nodded. That's the only currency I accept. We ate leftovers. Fell asleep on the couch like people who earned calm the hard way. And Sunday took care of itself. This isn't a story about winning. It's a story about walking. I carried a lot. I put it down. I picked up what mattered. If someone asks me how to know when it's time, I tell them this. When the price of basic kindness is your self-respect, you're not negotiating. You're getting drained. Close the account. I closed it. The statement looks fine from where I'm standing. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.